Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I hope all of you are doing well. In today's video I will discuss the updates concerning my upcoming card game, the Myo Mashup trading card game, which if you haven't been following along is going to be the Game Crafter version of the Make Your Own card game. And first thing I want to discuss is the name and theme of the first set, which is going to be called New Generation of Heroes. It is going to center on the various heroes of my universe, and as well as all the battles they fight, the dastardly villains, and the vicious monsters that they will come across. And in this set are going to be 5 main archetypes. And while there are cards that will exist outside of these are the 5 main ones that will be supported out of the box. The first one is Heroes, of course. This is meant to be a diverse toolbox. You can pretty much build however you'd like. So if you want to build it more aggressively, centered on attacking, you can do that. If you want to build with a more control game plan in mind, you can do that too. Considering how numerous heroes are going to be in this set, I kind of wanted heroes to have a variety of ways you can build them, and not so that no 2 hero-centric decks are the same. And the rest of the archetypes are a little smaller in representation, but they do have some interesting strategies to them. One of them is machines, and the idea behind them is that you're building a big, powerful mech and have a bunch of equipment attached to it to swing with that mech, and you also have some other characters surrounding it to protect it and keep it safe from harm. The third big archetype is small fries. These are a bunch of smaller characters who can team up to do some big damage, so even though they're low cost and have small stats, they can still team up to do some amazing things. Up next is Brawlers, which is the least represented archetype in the set so far, but they have a pretty simple game plan. They hit hard and they hit fast, so if you just want to hit dudes with characters, this is your archetype. And finally, there's Villains, for if you want something a little different. If you want to, the idea is to concoct schemes, control the field, dominate the world. It's more of a controlling archetype, so you have a lot of tools to give you card advantage and get your opponents and mess with your opponent's plans in various ways. And next I want to discuss how this set is going to be structured. It's a 100 card set that breaks down as follows. There's 10 rares, 30 commons, and 10 rares, 30 uncommons, 60 commons. There we go. Kind of slipped up a little bit, but as far as how the rares are concerned, there are 2 main factors in determining which cards I'm setting as rares and uncommons and what have you. The first is in the complexity of their effects. If a card has a pretty complex effect, then it's probably going to be more of a rare card. For example, Destiny here lets you reveal the top 7 cards of your deck. You get to choose a card with power cost 7 or less among them, play it for free. The other big factor in determining whether a card is rare or not is what I'm calling is splashable. So basically, how many decks can this card realistically fit in? So for the rares, what I want to do is want to make them powerful still, but I want each rare to be able to essentially have its own home, so that decks aren't really super focused on the rare cards. And instead, with most of the decks being centered around the common and uncommon pieces, and the rares are meant to act as the capstones of various strategies. For example, Delta Warrior Maxim here. Powerful card with a 10 cost, and it has the ability to get +2/+0 for each character with Delta Warrior in its name you control, and it also has targeting protection from card effects. So it's a pretty powerful card, but you can only realistically use this in a Delta Warrior deck. Whereas if I were to take a common card, for example, take a card like Steady Shot here. It's just a simple action card that allows you to knock out a character. You just choose a character, take it out. That card has an application in a wide variety of decks that everyone would want to use, and so that's the kind of effect I want to comment. Cards that have a wide array of applications, that have simplistic effects, but are still kind of powerful in their own right. And that's not to say that cost has a big factor in determining whether a card is common either. For example, you've got guys like Dragonbot here, which is a massive 8 cost, but it's still a common card in this set. As for why I only have 3 rarities in this set, it stems kind of from a pet peeve of mine with modern card games. You kind of know what I'm talking about. They have all these variety of rarities to them. You got full art rares, ultra rares, super rares, all that kind of stuff. And I kind of wanted to keep things a little more straightforward, which is kind of why I have the rarities the way I have them. And that's also kind of why I wanted to make sure I had 2 rarities instead of 1 per pack, so that everyone has a chance to get a wide variety of the rares. And on that note, I wanted to start showing off a couple of sample cards I made. These aren't quite the final versions, but they can kind of give you an idea of what I'm going for. First one is Essence of the Stars here. And this also illustrates an idea that I'm going for, is that you'll notice with the cards that I'm showing off, they're gonna have different colors for their borders and such. So you got Essence of the Stars, which is a modifier. You've got Citrus here, who's a character. As you can see him, he's got his usual stats, and Super Coin here, who's an normal action card. So kind of what I wanted to go for is each color represents a card type. So characters will be red, and then you've got your actions. Your normal encounter actions will be yellow. And then blue is going to be represented by items. This is going to give me an opportunity to change up some of the cards. So I'm going to move the modifiers from actions to a new category called items, which I may expand on in future sets with cards outside of the modifier subtype, but that's what I want to do with the items. And then the fourth one that I don't have a card made yet, because it's partially because I don't have art for it, is going to be the terrains, which are going to be green. And those will function more or less how they do in the normal game, except they're not considered action cards, they're just terrains. As for how I'm able to make these cards, as you could see, I've got the various different card artworks on a single sheet. I got 16 of them on one sheet in my sketchbook, and I just take pictures of them, and then when I want to use one of them for a card, I just I put this into a program like MS Paint, and then I just click on one of them, I highlight one of them to cut out, and then I go into Canva where I have all my card templates, and then I put that piece of art onto the card, and then I'll adjust its size from there, give it a little border, and then finish the card from there. So it's kind of the simple way I've got my card set up, and that's kind of how I'm going to do it. As for when I'm going to release this game, my plan is to release this fairly early on in 2026. I don't quite have a release date pinned down, but I've got 50 of the 100 pieces of art done so far. I don't quite have all the cards made yet, but that's going to be the next step after I get all the art finished, is to complete the actual cards themselves. I might end up doing a little playtest event before the card set releases, just to get a little more feedback and make some adjustments before I fully release the set. And on that note of playtesting, I had one other announcement to share before I end this video, and that concerns the new Discord Game Day, which, if you're not on my Discord, it's a little event I host once a month where we gather on Discord to play various trading card games, and that's going to be, and this month's is going to be on December 13th. So if you're not on the Discord, I highly encourage you to click the link in the description to sign up so you can get some games in, and we'll have some fun. And that's going to do it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. Definitely leave a like if you enjoyed, and comment below if you have any questions concerning the updates that I have for you. I'll see you in whatever video I upload next, and take care.